Namaste. As we learn to serve, we begin to deserve Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the Indian goddess of wealth and well-being, etc. The word Lakshmi comes from Sanskrit, the roots of which are Laksh and Lakshya. Laksh means perception, knowledge, observation, understanding. And Lakshya, of course, means goal, aim, or objective. What are the roles of a person, or what are the aims of a person in life, and so on. Now, you cannot ignore one of the two meanings, because both are important in the word Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. She helps us fulfill our goals because of whatever she is capable of doing. So when we speak of perception, knowledge, observation, understanding, etc., it means as we begin to see things clearly, better, as we begin to observe, our understanding of our truth, of our reality, and so on, begins to undergo a subtle but very important shift. We begin to see that we are actually all interconnected. In many ways, we are actually all just one. Just as in our body, there are an estimated 50 trillion cells. If I were to take out each cell individually, and if I could communicate with it and ask, hey, who are you? How would it answer, you think? It could say, I am a cell. And it's right, it is a cell. But if it says, I'm Rajesh, well, that too is okay. That too is fine. It depends on how it sees things, how it perceives things. Both realities are correct. The lower reality is connected with the ego. So if it sees itself only as a cell, if that's its perception, well, that's what it is. And if it sees itself as a greater thing, then, well, that's what it is. And the same thing happens to us as human beings. When we limit ourselves because of our own low-level consciousness, we are connected with our ego and so on, naturally our understanding, our expression, etc. is also limited. But when our ego weakens its hold, or because of our better understanding of reality, of ourselves, etc., this understanding undergoes a subtle but very powerful shift, then we begin to see we are not just the ego. The ego, if anything, is only a tool that is available to us. We are actually a higher reality. Everything that is there in us, everything about us, is a part of the environment. We cannot just separate ourselves from the environment and hope to be, fulfilled in a sense. It's only when we are an integral part of the whole that we truly are fulfilled. So when we speak of Lakshmi, we depict or we see Lakshmi as sitting at the feet of God Vishnu. Vishnu is lying on an ocean, Shir Sagar as they say. He's lying there, and Lakshmi is sitting at his feet, in a way serving him. And it's not about male, female, it's nothing of that sort. These are things that people of lower consciousness also get involved in. It's not about male, female. Here, in fact, if anything, female signifies the highest energy, Shakti. And Shakti is always venerated, worshipped, and wanted in that sense. It's something that we look up to in every way. So it's not as if female or because we see Shakti as feminine, it's something to be looked down upon or anything of that sort. And that's not the reason why she sits at Shiva at Vishnu's feet. That's not the reason why. She is there because Vishnu signifies high consciousness, and Lakshmi is there to help fulfill him, to bring his wish to fruition. That's why we see, or Lakshmi is depicted as sitting at Vishnu's feet. Now, see, as we change our consciousness, or as our consciousness undergoes a change, subtle things start changing in us. And the thing about nature is, the thing about life is, whatever our level of consciousness is, nature or life will equip us with whatever is needed to express that consciousness. So if our consciousness is at the lowest level and we are only concerned about our survival, our well-being, or maybe that of our loved ones, well, That's what life will equip us with. However, if our consciousness rises and we begin to see our connection with a greater whole around us, and we start looking after it, doing things to help it, and so on, naturally, life will begin to provide us all that is needed to express that greater consciousness. So, this is what Lakshmi does. She will go to anyone with a higher consciousness, equip him with whatever he needs to express that consciousness. Now, if we try to fool ourselves, or if we try to kid ourselves that I will pretend to do this, it's not going to work. Because Lakshmi has the ability to see in you, into you, through you, and everything about you. And the more she sees that you are genuinely moving towards a higher consciousness, the more she will equip you with the resources needed to fulfill that. Serving. When we begin to serve, it's not as if we are serving others, because when we serve others, it's actually ourselves or our higher selves that we are serving. Because our higher self, that's all one. It's moving in the direction of that oneness, experience of that oneness. So as we continue moving towards that greater awareness, that greater consciousness, slowly over time, Lakshmi becomes available to us as needed. Not to massage our ego, not to make us feel how great or how much better we are than our fellow beings, etc. No, nothing of that sort. Lakshmi merely equips us with the resources needed so that we are able to express that higher consciousness, become an agent to help continue move that consciousness higher around, in and around everyone. So when we say, do, behave in ways that helps raise consciousness of others around us, Lakshmi becomes more and more available to us. Read the accompanying description. There's an article that I've shared along with it where these ideas are explained in more detail. Thank you. All the best. Continue to serve and begin to deserve Lakshmi. Lakshmi not just as a visitor, but Lakshmi as one who will stay with you for a long, long time. Namaste.